Hey pals, welcome to Frame and Fiber. I am your host, Paige Miller. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Paige the Framer, and you can follow my picture framing and yarn shop, which is Frame and Fiber, on Instagram at frame.and.fiber. So yeah, follow me in those places to keep in touch with me and to see what's happening in these parts. So welcome. I am coming to you from my home. I am in my guest room. I'm in Neptune, New Jersey. My shop, Frame and Fiber, is in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. So if you ever find yourself visiting the Jersey Shore, please pop in. I'd love to meet you. So today's December 31st. It's New Year's Eve. It came really quickly. I feel like 2019 flew by. I got lots of things accomplished in 2019. I had a few things that I didn't get accomplished in 2019, but I think that's how it goes, right? So I wanted to share with you, I have some video that I want to share. Paul Miller and I went on a hike on Christmas Day. We went to a place called Turkey Mountain and spent a few hours in the woods. So that will be at the end of this episode. Did I say which episode this is? No, because I forget which episode this is. It's episode right here. Should know these things. So yeah, I will be sharing that with you. And then I also have some video that I took a while back that I kept meaning to share with you, and I just kept putting it off. I repaired a crocheted blanket for a customer of mine. So I do these types of things at the shop. I'm a picture framer, so I do all kinds of picture framing and repairs and such, but also as a knitter and crocheter, I block for people. I fix, I repair, I finish. So a customer of mine, a picture framing customer, was in and asked if I could repair a blanket that his grandmother had made for him. He thinks the blanket is anywhere from like 50 to 60 years old, and I kind of agree with him. Looking at the type of yarn that was used, it's mostly wools with some like really old creepy acrylics from back in the day when I was a kid. And it had been repaired several times before I got it, so it was pretty beat up. I need to teach my customer how to care for his blanket. I think the biggest problem with what was happening with his blanket, because it was kind of disintegrating, don't think he was taking the best care of it. So anyway, he's not a fiber guy, so I will impart some fibery care wisdom on him when I see him when he picks it up. But yeah, I repaired a blanket. So I have some video of that, and I talk a little bit more about that in the video. So pals, I would like to share with you something I'm up to. This is I guess I'm going to say it's a full-size Afghan. My customer's grandmother made this. She is long past. And see all of my clips? They're marking a spot that needs to be repaired. So there's quite a few. I think I have a couple dozen spots to fix. Some of them looks like maybe, let's see, the yarn just shredded, possible bug damage. Some I think just wear and tear. So I'm going to be fixing this puppy. Right here we've got, I just have to sew those back together, so that's not so bad. Some of them are a little bit tricky. Let me show you a good one, or well, a bad one. So this guy here is missing his entire middle. Missing his entire middle. This one right here, the middle is not attached. So I just did one, this one right here. I just did this piece. So I'm crocheting the center, and then I'm sewing it on. I will talk more about this in detail, but I wanted to share the beginning of the process with you. So I am actually not going to be sharing any of my knitting with you. I have 2 projects on the needles. I have a pair of socks, which I just have to finish a heel and a toe, and then that'll be done. And then I'm working on my void shawl, which I think I showed you guys in the last episode, my beginnings. Those are the only 2 whips I have. I didn't cast on Christmas Eve, which is a little bit sad, but not really that sad. I just didn't cast on because I was so excited that I only had 2 projects on the needles that I was like, ooh, maybe I can get both of them finished by January 1st. The socks will be finished. I'll have them finished tonight. The shawl will not be, but whatever. I will finish 2019 with 1 whip on my needles. So I think that's a pretty cool accomplishment. I do have a bunch of projects planned already for the new year. Will I start them all? You know, I have my list. I'm sure, do you guys make a list? Let me know. Comment below how you approach your new year making goals. I know as the year progresses, those goals sometimes change, but it's fun to hear about. So yeah, that was cool. So I do have some things that I will cast on probably tonight or tomorrow. And then in the next episode, we can chat more about my knitting. I wanted to talk to you about a few of the make-alongs that are happening out there right now. I love the holiday season and especially the beginning of the year because so many make-alongs pop up that are geared to getting us to accomplishment, right? To finishing things or to learning things. So the first one that I want to talk to you about is the New to You Make-Along, which I am co-hosting with a slew of other podcasters and makers. The idea of the New to You Make-Along is try something new to you. It could either be a new skill or a new technique, a new craft. We're hoping that you guys will keep it fiber related. So within that, that's the blanket, a fiber related, brand new to you skill or craft. I'm going to be trying to double knit. So these are my colors for my double knit. Oops, let me put that the right way so you can see it. So these are my beautiful Chelsea Luxe skeins. This is Boardwalk and this is Denim. And I'm going to be double knitting a hat by Owlcat Designs. Oh, it's down here. I'm going to put the project, or not the project page. I'm going to put the name of the pattern here. It's a beautiful double knit hat with dragonflies on it. So that's going to be what I attempt for my new to me project. I've never double knitted. Well, that's a little bit of a lie. I took a class at Vogue Knitting 2 years ago and then just didn't stick with it. So I want to actually do it. So many people are just doing, you know, a new cast on or a new bind off or just like a new technique that way. So really try something new. You do not have to finish to be entered into the knit along, and you do not have to like what you tried. Just between January 1st and February 14th, try something new. Take a picture. Use the hashtag #NewToYou2020 on Instagram, or check out Arrowacres Farm. I'll put it here. I'll put a link down below to the Ravelry group where you can join the group and post a picture to the forum. Follow Arrowacres Farm Yarn and follow Cocktail Hour at the Coop on Instagram and Ravelry to get more detailed information than what I'm giving you. Okay, so my lovely ladies, my lovely friends, Natalie, who is Remembrance Pottery on Instagram, and Mars, who is HeyBrownBerry on Instagram, they're hosting a Stash Dive Challenge 2020. Use a pattern or yarn supplies that you have had in your stash since before 2020. Create projects with yarn or pattern that you have owned before January 1st, 2020. And use the following hashtag, Stash Dive Challenge 2020. this is double dipping right there. I have lots that I can do. I think most of us with a stash should be joining this knit along. Definitely should be joining this knit along. I'm excited to use up some stash yarn, so I am using this. And then the last make along that I'm joining is a sew along with Miss Allison from Daisy Lane Design. So it's a year of less waste sew along, and she is teaching you how to sew things to use that you can replace disposable things. So for instance, sandwich wraps and tote bags and bowl covers and that kind of a thing. So I love this idea, and I think Allison's a great teacher. So for me to take this class with her is going to be great. Also, I want to support my friend because she, along with this class, she's going to be starting to offer classes online. And so I want to be in on that in the very beginning so I can learn how to sew. But I also think a lot of the projects that she is going to be teaching us through the year. So it's a year-long sew-along. Each month she has a new project and a new tutorial to go along with the project. And I think they could make some really nice gifts. So I'm using my year of less waste sew-along to get me prepared for Christmas 2020. What? That's crazy town. I also want to use my Stash Dive Challenge 2020 for getting projects done now and throughout the year for the gift giving season. So those are the make-alongs I wanted to tell you guys about. I hope you will join us in any one of those make-alongs. I will link to the information to those alongs down in the down bar. Please follow along and join us. All right, so then the next thing, a couple of things coming up at the shop. In February, Mars, who is HeyBrownBerry, will be at Frame and Fiber, and she will be doing a weekend of classes, drop spindle spinning classes. So if it's something that you're interested in and you would like to trek over to Point Pleasant, New Jersey to meet Mars and to take a spinning class with her, please visit frameandfiber.com/classes to see all of the information about that class. I loved spinning on my drop spindle so much. It's like meditation. Yes, it's like the fiber equivalent of meditation. For me anyway. I absolutely love it, and I encourage you guys to explore it. It could be something new to you. I mean, the class is after the new to you make along, but maybe it'll encourage you to keep making new things. Seriously though, check out frameandfiber.com/classes and come take a class with Mars. And on January 18th, Michele, who is one of Frame and Fiber's employees, one of my coworkers, and an extremely fabulous knitting teacher, an awesome human being, she will be teaching a Mosaic knitting class on the 18th. So let's see, she is going to be teaching, they're just little swatches, like washcloths, just to get you started in mosaic knitting. The cool part about these little, the swatch that she's doing, there's a whole series of squares that you can make, and I have seen them put together into a really cute blanket. So it could be something that would be interesting and fun to make for baby gift giving. So anyway, January 18th from 11 to 2. Check that out. frameandfiber.com/classes. So those are the classes coming up in January and February. There's always lessons as well for individuals and small groups. So if you're local and want to take knitting and crocheting lessons, check all that out. Okay, so the last episode was all about spinning, and some of your comments were great. Thank you guys so much for commenting and being interactive with me. I really appreciate the back and forth. I love the connection that I have with the fiber community through this podcast. So I wanted to pick a comment from last week and just kind of talk about it a little. So this is from Marge Ruffle, and she writes, Paige, purple heart. Such good info on spindles. I will learn to spin one day and weave. Ah, yes, Marge, I hope you really do. It's so much fun. Like I said, the spinning is, I think between spinning and weaving, I would say start with spinning first because you don't have to invest a lot. A drop spindle, you could spend 20 bucks on a drop spindle, and a cheap bag of fiber just to get started is like, I don't know, you could probably get an ounce for like $3 or $4. So that would be my pick. But since you did mention weaving, I really need to warp my loom. It has been sitting naked in my kitchen. I have like an area in my kitchen that it lives in. This is what that means, it lives in. And it's been sitting there for a year naked. I have to tell you that if that was one of Paul Miller's toys sitting in my kitchen for a year, I probably would have flipped out. So I should apologize to Paul Miller and practice what I preach. I need to get on that. Anyway, so Marge also says, she wanted to know, she says, I need to know what you are wearing. I love that cardigan and all the fun stitch detail. Please do tell. Okay, so Marge, that sweater, that cardigan was the Evelyn cardigan by Jennifer Wood, who is Woodhouse Knits on Ravelry and Instagram. It was knit, I probably knit that 3 years ago, right? About 3 years ago. Made it out of Cascade Cloud, which is a 50 alpaca, 50 merino yarn. It is chain plied. Chain plied? It's chainette construction anyway. I don't think it's chain plied. Chainette construction. It is gorgeous, gorgeous yarn. The stitch definition is incredible. If you guys have never used a chainette, is that how you say it? Chainette? It's this kind of yarn. Let's show you this. Where's my little square? There it is. Okay, here we go. So it's that texture right there. If you have not worked with this type of a texture, I encourage you to try it. It is lovely. Don't be afraid of it. So I sell the Cascade Cloud in the shop, and it's not an easy sell because I think people are intimidated or confused by the texture of the yarn. It's beautiful. It adds such definition to your knitting and crocheting. So yeah, that cardigan, I absolutely love it. Cables down the sleeve, cables that split and go down the back. It has like an A-line. Oh, it's such a beautiful cardigan. I highly recommend it. Not a beginner project, but definitely I would say if you're an adventurous intermediate knitter, try it, because Jennifer Wood writes great patterns. Not only does she write a great pattern, but she provides excellent pattern support. Every one of her patterns on Ravelry is listed in a forum, and in that forum you can find any type of question that other knitters have had, and either she or one of her moderators or test knitters will answer those questions. She's great. So highly recommend that sweater, the Evelyn cardigan, and pretty much any pattern by Jennifer Wood. And if you're curious, since we are talking about the Evelyn cardigan and what I wore in the last episode, let's talk about what I'm wearing now. No, I did not make this sweater. My stepmom bought this for me. Sometimes you just wear the sweater because, well, you just do. This is probably a DK or sport weight sweater, so yes, I could have made this and it would have been fun. Okay, and then I am wearing my hat Dana. It is the winter time, so I'm wearing it as a hat, which It doesn't make any sense because it'll keep me warm no matter how I'm wearing it. I hiked in this. I think you will see it in, yes, you'll see it in my video. It kept me nice and toasty outside. It was pretty chilly. It was a lovely hike. We were in, like I said in the beginning, we were in a place called Turkey Mountain. So let's see. The stats of my Turkey Mountain hike with Paul Miller. I never know if you guys really care about the stats, but I love hiking. I follow lots of hiking blogs and vlogs and Instagram accounts and YouTube accounts. Absolutely love hiking. I love sleeping in the woods in a hammock. I love just being out in the middle of nowhere. It's my favorite. So I like these stats. All right, so we did a 5.3 mile hike. Our elevation gain was 951 feet. Our moving time was 2 hours and 43 minutes. Our total time was 3 hours and 44 minutes. I burned 1,416 calories. And my average pace was 30 minutes. 30 minutes, 46 seconds. We had a great time. So Turkey Mountain is about an hour and a half from my house. Pretty much the only downside to where I live, I love where I live, but I am along the coast in New Jersey, and which means I'm on the sandbar portion of New Jersey, which means, hi, we're very flat. So if I want to get anywhere close to being mountain hiking, I need to travel an hour. Easy. There are parks closer to me that I definitely walk in the woods often, but if I want to explore and to be out kind of in the middle of nowhere, I need to drive away from where I live. Suburbia, it's where I am. So it was a great hike. We got to the mountain, started our hike around 8 a.m. I would say we started the hike at 25 degrees, and by lunchtime it was about 37. So the hat Dana was perfect. Kept me so nice and toasty. I left it on the whole time because I definitely needed it, but I did end up taking off some of my other layers. But yeah, it was lovely. So the hat Dana, that's what I'm wearing, and that's what you'll see in that video. And then I'm wearing, this. I made these. No, I didn't. I repurposed these. So I had bought Paul Miller a pair of alpaca socks from my friend Monica. She has an alpaca farm, and she goes to the Knitting Pipeline retreat with me in Maine. And so I bought Paul Miller a pair of alpaca socks, which he didn't realize he threw in the regular wash, and then he washed and dried them, and so they felted big time. So I have now made myself two pairs of mitts from these felted socks. So the other pair is just from the cuff to the heel, so it's that. But this is the heel to the toe. Is it, or is it to the cuff? Maybe it was the, yeah, strike that. This was the other one was the foot, so it's cut off the toe and chopped it here. This is the heel and that's the cuff. So I just clipped part of the heel, gusset open, and now I have a thumb gusset and an incredibly warm pair of fingerless mitts. So I think if I had realized that I kind of just snipped these on a whim and didn't think that they would work as well as they are working. So if and when, because we all know it will happen again, felting is just part of your fiber life. So next time this happens, I will make sure to cut the hole for my thumb first, slide my hand in, and then actually measure, because I think I would have liked to have had it that high, but whatever. These are keeping me nice and toasty today. I'm home today, working from home, and I keep the house pretty cool, so these are perfect. So thank you, Paul Miller, for felting your alpaca socks. He has another pair that are fine, so he's good, but. So if you felt your socks, do not despair. Fingerless mitts. Okay, kids, I am now going to insert some video here for you. Alright, so this is where Pamela and I are. And we have to go this way. Okay, I'm breathing really heavy. Pamela and I made it to the top. Woo! Okay, onward. Onward, Jeeves. Miller's over there. He's not in the mood for my camera shenanigans today. It's too early for him. Pretty, right? What can you see, babe?
Freedom Tower.
You can see the Freedom Tower from here? Where? Oh, that's New York.
What was this place?
Clearly it was where they sacrificed babies because of that altar right there.
Or maybe that was the center mass in the house.
I think you're probably more accurate than I. But I like to pretend that it's scary.
This is a fire hearth then?
Yeah. That's where they cooked the babies. Let's go in the house, shall we? Baby, you're cute. You know, I'm trying to catch Paul Miller on film, but I'm going downhill with rocks. And if you know me well, you know that's not a good idea, because I am a very big klutz. Oh shit, see? Parkour. And that's enough of that. Your feet are like half an inch above the water. This is a good spot for lunch.
Yep.
So what's for lunch? Leftovers. We got, no, these aren't leftovers. Those are just raw carrots I cut up. Ham and bananas. That's what we're eating, and it's delish. Okay. Yeah, you really can't tell on camera how deep something is. It's pretty deep. Yeah, like I would need you to be at the bottom waving up at me.
Still probably wouldn't do it.
You don't think? Oh. So Paul Miller and I finished our hike. We are on our way home. We saw lots of good things. We ate our lunch by a waterfall. Because you know, when you're in the woods and there's a waterfall, you gotta eat your lunch. Knitting the bandana definitely works for hiking. Kept me toes deep. Okay, see you later. I hope you enjoy the videos. And I hope you have a lovely and happy and healthy new year. I will see you next time. Please subscribe if you would like to travel along with me on my outdoor journeys, if you would like to talk about your making and my making experiences together. I hope you like it, and I hope you will subscribe and become part of the Frame and Fiber community. All right, kids. Ciao. Until next time.